Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to the Weather Gurus channel tropical and hurricane update for August 19th, 2020. So glad you can join me. We have two areas of interest in the Atlantic, and we have one hurricane in the East Pac or Eastern Pacific. But first, we're going to get into the Atlantic here. The first area of concern is located in the basin of the Caribbean Sea. The National Hurricane Center gives it a 60% chance, a medium percent chance of developing in the next 2 days, and over the 5 days is 80% chance. And we have another disturbance following it, way east of the Leeward Islands, some 800, 900 miles east of the 1,000 miles east of the Leeward Islands. And that one has a very high chance, a 90% chance to develop in the next 48 hours, and a 90% chance to develop in 5 days. In the next 5 days, if these two storms do develop, they will first, of course, go through the tropical depression and the formation genesis, storm formation genesis. But if they get a name, if both of these happen to get a name, the next two names will be Laura and Marco. So Laura and Marco are the next names on our tropical list. And as you know, we're going through these names very fast because we have not reached the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season, which typically occurs from mid-September through mid-October. That is the peak of the Atlantic hurricane season that extends, of course, from June 1st to November 30th. Now, back to our two disturbances here. I must say, the one behind it in the Atlantic Ocean and the Mid-Atlantic is looking much healthier than this one here in the Caribbean Sea. However, this one will become lower. There's a chance for this one to get into the Gulf of Mexico as well. And so that's something all interest from Texas to Louisiana should pay attention to this, as there is a trough right now in the eastern, southeastern third of the country right now, and it just depends on where will this go. Will it continue west across the Yucatan and into Mexico, or will it come up here into Texas or into Louisiana? It just depends on what the trough and the environmental conditions. Right now it's being steered by the Bermuda Azores High, of course, which is steering this tropical entity into the Caribbean basin. They'll follow that for the next 2 to 3 days, and that's why they have the 60% chance here for further development of this cyclone, of this tropical wave, I should say, right now. And it's looking very healthy here. I'm going to show you the visible satellite here. And you can see that there's a lot of convective activity on the south side, on the northeastern quadrant of this system, of this tropical wave. And it's going to get better organized as the wind shear is going to relax coming up into this as it passes by the islands of Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, and it gets more into a more favorable environment here as it makes its journey toward the Yucatan Peninsula and the Gulf of Mexico. This second one here, the reason why it's getting 90% chance of developing is you can see strong convection here on the south and southwest sides, wrapping all the way around the center. Just very strong banding features here of these thunderstorms, and I wouldn't be surprised if the National Hurricane Center go ahead and upgrade this to a tropical depression probably by the 11 p.m. advisory tonight. This will be our next tropical depression in this system here, because it's already looking very healthy here on the satellite microwave imagery. Now, there is a third chance. There is another wave coming off the Sierra Leone coastline, the African coastline here. We get these Cape Verde, this is the time of year we get these Cape Verde waves, tropical waves, and this one has some healthy thunderstorm development too, but the National Hurricane Center only gives it a 30% chance development in 5 days, and so we'll just have to wait and see. It's too early to tell. It's just now starting to emerge off of Africa right now, and we have to see once it gets past the Cape Verde Islands and, of course, the coast of Africa there. But these two waves here are definitely going to develop. Like I said, this could be our next Laura, tropical storm Laura, and also Marco, if we get that designation later on this week. Probably by Saturday or Sunday we can have a better idea. It'll be strengthening during that time frame. Right now it's just too early to tell. It's just a tropical wave, and it may become a depression. And so when we're looking at this here, we have, you can see it, just give you a closer look here, and I showed you those storms. The basin itself was pretty clear. We have a lot of dry air and disturbances. Let me give you another photo here, and this right here shows you the Gulf of Mexico, the Bay of Campeche, and the Yucatan Peninsula right here. And you can see it just now coming up in the southeast corner here, this disturbance here that's going to be a tropical depression by tonight. And we have some showers here associated with this trough and stalled front over here, frontal boundary, and the east coast. Now, over here you can see we have a high ridging feature, and this is going to be in play. This is going to be the two factors that play into the system, both of these systems here. And I'm going to get to Genevieve over here in the corner. You see Genevieve? It's a Category 3 hurricane making its way towards Baja California and Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. But back to the two disturbances. You see this ridge here up here? There's a high pressure ridge of high pressure bringing record heat to places like Phoenix, Arizona, and Death Valley, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. Well, this ridge right here it has a trough in the east. So this ridge and trough pattern has been in place for quite some time now, at least a month or so. And what's going to happen is this disturbance here is going to come up through here, and then it has to make a decision whether or not to continue going west toward Texas and Louisiana, or it's going to be pulled more toward the western periphery of this high pressure Bermuda high that's out here, that's in between, that's on the western edge of this trough or this stalled front. Or it could come in and go, further north and make a U.S. landfall more so toward the Florida, Alabama, Louisiana coastline. There is a third option that the storm could continue going west, cross over the Yucatan Peninsula, and whatever's left of it in the Bay of Campeche, whatever's left of the system, we don't know yet once it crosses land, could continue on westward into Mexico again and make a second landfall. So that's what we're thinking with that system. Now, as far as Genevieve, let's see if we can get a loop of that system here. And I want to show you, there is Genevieve right there, it's just about making landfall. They're feeling some of the outer rain bands, some of the effects of that system. So we're going to switch over to the East Pac, the Eastern Pacific, and give you the latest on Genevieve. Hurricane Genevieve is at max sustained winds 115 miles an hour. That makes it a Category 3 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Minimum central pressure is very, very low for a system of this, 960 millibars, and it's moving north-northwest at 8 knots, 9 miles an hour. So on this rate, part of it will make landfall on the Baja California coastline, and the system is very healthy. It's forecast to pass near or just west of Baja California Peninsula. So tropical storm conditions will be felt this afternoon for the southern Baja Peninsula, including Cabo San Lucas. Hurricane force winds are kind of small with this system. It doesn't extend out that far. Meaning that, I don't think they'll be experiencing hurricane force winds. They may get hurricane force gusts because hurricane force winds only extend out 35 miles from the center, okay? But tropical storm force winds are a definite 100% forecast for the Baja California as they extend out 140 miles from the center. So, they could have hurricane force gusts there, but, as far as sustained hurricane force winds, there'd be a very small window for that to be there, as the system is going to kind of move parallel to the coast, but they're going to be on that eastern side, so they can expect a strong storm surge anywhere on the order from 8 to 12 feet of storm surge coming in on that eastern side there. It's that white front quadrant, that eye wall, we know is crucial for that storm surge. And the Hurricane Center has noted that. They said heavy rainfall from Genevieve may lead to life-threatening flash flooding and mudslides across far portions of southern Baja California. And, of course, the waves are just going to be phenomenal over there as well. So they have issued hurricane warnings and hurricane watches here. Let me show you the cone of this here, because this is something here. You can see the cone of uncertainty, and it's just going to parallel the coast here and then head out toward the sea here. And of course, weakening in the cooler waters off the coast of Southern California. It's going to be definitely weakening by this weekend and Monday to a depressionary status. So they're already experiencing tropical storm force winds just about now. And by later on this evening, California time, say 4 or 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, they'll definitely be into that tropical storm force winds. Hurricane force winds, they look like they will miss the brunt of that because it only extends out 35 miles radius here, as you can see from the center. But there will be extreme storm surge coming into this action right here, and that's why we have the hurricane warning here for the tip of the southern Baja California. There will be extreme storm surge on the order of anywhere from 8 to 12 feet of storm surge coming in, as that white front quadrant is going to pass right by that location. And so that's the latest on Genevieve, and that's the latest on our 2 storms in the Atlantic. I just want to give you an update. You can see it on the satellite here. Let's get one last look of this here. If we can go to the loop of the infrared here, and we can see the infrared satellite here. See the deep convection around the center. You can clearly see an eye there, a nautical mile eye, probably a good, I don't know, maybe a good 30 mile, 25 mile nautical eye there. Maybe you can see there on the convective loop here, the infrared loop here. And you can also see the moisture here and the dry air associated with this high pressure. See the rotation of the high pressure, the clockwise flow, and the dry sinking air underneath that, and the showers. They call these ridge runners. These showers running along the edge of the high pressure here. And we have the tropical moisture, of course, in Florida, but nothing is going on there. It's just a stalled boundary located along the trough here in the East Coast. And we see some showers out toward the mid-Atlantic here, just south of Bermuda. Nothing there. Nothing's supposed to be developing there. And, of course, there's our system just toward the bottom there, that moisture just passing about maybe 450, 500 miles to the southeast of Jamaica. That's our next disturbance there that could become, like I said, Laura, and then Marco is our system behind that. So that is our tropical update for today. August 19th. Please feel free to leave any comments or concerns down below, and I'll be sure to get back with you, and have a great day.